So it turns out that political climate in Zanu PF is about as stable as a tight-strap walker on a windy day. Alleged allegations are flying around like confetti at a wedding. Only this confetti is made of food aid and farming inputs being denied to supporters who dare oppose President Emmerson Mnangagwa's grand plan to extend his reign beyond 2028. I mean, who needs food when you can have a lifetime of political power, right? Now we see this one here emerging. Mphoko's son, why I snubbed my dad's funeral. Now VP, the late Vice President Pelekezela Mphoko's son, would speak on why he did speak his father's funeral there. And then we see this one here coming out again. Chiwenga Bakers under siege over the year 2030, over ED 2030. What is happening there? Before we dig into that, let us jump over to India where we see VP Chiwenga speaking.
The actual here for 2 things. First is the exposition of St. Francis in Zambia. I was here in January this year, and when I was told that the exposition of the lyrics of the uncorruptible body of St. Francis was going to be this year, I made a commitment that the family to come and have this one-time important event. So I brought my wife and my children. The second was that in the 14th century, we started to have relations with the Portuguese.
So we see VP Chiwenga with his wife and children there in the nation of India. Let me just replay that one there with a little bit more volume there. I hope it's gonna be audible, and I hope you can hear me loud and clearly. Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live right about now. To those who are watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat that I can get to see your names so I can give you my shout out.
I'm here for 2 things. First is the exposition of St. Francis in Zambia. I was here in January this year, and when I was told that the exposition of the lyrics of the uncorruptible body of St. Francis was going to be this year, I made a commitment that I will bring the family to come and have this one-time important event together with my family. So I brought my wife and my children. The second was that in the 14th century, we started to have relations with the Portuguese.
All right.
Mnangagwa 2030.
We're seeing a VP Chiwenga there in the nation of India speaking there. Anyways, what else do we see here? We see Clive Malunga. All right, we're just gonna watch this Clive Malunga video before we go over to see what is happening to Chiwenga's supporters and what is a VP Mpoko's son there saying.
Mnangagwa 2030 avaisviki vakatengesa zvekutamba kana 2026 checha avaisviki. Why ndiri kutaura kudaro? Because Mnangagwa havazi Mwari. Tese tinoti isusu zuva ratamuka ndinopfugama ndoti Ishe ndinokutendai nezuva ranhasi ramanditevera kudoa. Imi muri kuroora kuti simba imi muri kumira pamberi pevanhu muchitaura 2030. 2030 2030 kuita sei?
Now he is really emotional there. That is Clive Malunga there speaking. Big up to everybody who's watching us live. To those watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat. Enough respect to John Caetano, Constantine, Nyaku, Jara. Enough respect there.
Mnangagwa 2030 havaisviki. Vakatoisa zvekutamba kana 2026 chaicha havaisviki. Why ndiri kutaura kudaro? Because Mnangagwa havazi Mwari. Tese tinoti isusu zuva ratamuka ndinopfugama ndoti Ishe ndinokutendai nezuva ranhasi ramanditendera kuti ndione. Imimi muri kuona kuti simba imimi muri kumira pamberi pevanhu muchitaura kuti hanzi 2030 2030 kuita sei? 2030 yamuri kutaura yaMnangagwa pakuita sei? Muri Mwari here ni? Munotaura kana inini izvozvo ndiri kutaura izvo ndinoziva kuti mangwana angu akamira sei? 2026 chaiyo muri kuvashuridzira imimi, vanogona kutadza kutoisvika futi. Asi even dai tasvika 2027.
The actual blue book itself is not adding up. You know, it has got elementary mistakes in the...
We're seeing Clive Malunga there speaking on ED 2030. Now we see ZANU-PF members have been receiving various hampers, including goats.
The actual blue book itself is not adding up.
Yeah, at least that is something there.
Toda kutenda mai Mnangagwa nechirongwa chavakauya nacho. Nhasi tiri kufara seawomen for ED. Tiri kuno kumasvingo nechirongwa chavauya nacho. Sevasikana tinoda kutenda mai nemaprojects avari kutivigira kuti tiwane zvekuita, tive nedevelopment inoenda kumberi. Semakanselasi echidiki tinokurudzira kuti vasikana nemamai echidiki awane zvekuita. Iye zvino tinofara neproject yembudzi yavatipa vari kuenderera mberi vachi.
Big up to Ray Bush there. Say sound is back. Thank you very much for that feedback there.
Masvingo tikakufara zvingaiti, tine mufaro wakapfurikidza. Tapiwa mbudzi zuva ranhasi, tapiwa maChristmas box, tapiwa machira, tapiwa raisi, tapiwa fulawa, mahamba akarongeka ekuti chero chindawo kuChristmas zvokwadi zvinhu zve zvakarongeka. Saka semasvingo tiri kufara, toda kutenda amai vedu Dr. Osilia Mnangagwa vauya vakatipa mbudzi.
All right, we're seeing some scenes there, some powerful, touching scenes there. It's very sad that we see a lot of Zimbabweans have been reduced to charity cases there. It is really, really touching. It is really touching. Jean Caetano there says, Jean Caetano says, Masasika mbudzi ndo upfu here zvimwe zvinhu zvinotendwa kiki. Yeah, it is a really sad situation we're seeing unraveling in the nation of Zimbabwe there. Very disturbing. Now we see this making headlines. Chiwenga bakers under siege over ED 2030. Now picture this. ZANU-PF has split into two factions. On the side, we have the loyalists supporting the 82-year-old Mnangagwa, who, by the way, seems like he is the energizer bunny of politics. He just keeps going and going. On the other side, we have Vice President Constantino Chiwenga supporters who are itching for a change come 2028. It's like watching a soap opera where everyone is plotting against each other, but nobody knows how to exit the stage. Pages and Politburo meetings. In recent weeks, Chiwenga bakers have been targeted in pages that have rocked Masvingo, Harare, and Mashonaland East provinces. You know, things are serious when political pages start sounding like a new Netflix series, House of Page, Zimbabwe edition. And speaking of meetings, last week's Politburo gathering was all about alleged food aid denials. Mnangagwa chaired the meeting while Chiwenga was off in India, probably trying to find some wisdom, at least some good curry to spice up his political career. The resolution for eternity. Now here is where it gets even more juicy. Zanu PF has passed a resolution to amend the constitution so Mnangagwa can extend his term until 2030. That's right, they want him to rule longer than most people keep in their New Year's resolutions. But hold on, your horses. Even though they are pushing for this change, Mnangagwa himself has said he plans to retire in 2028. Talk about mixed signals. It's like saying you are on diet while simultaneously eyeing that chocolate cake. Now what lies ahead? As we look ahead, it seems amending the constitution might be tougher than teaching an old dog new tricks. Critics are saying Mnangagwa's plan is about as feasible as finding a unicorn in downtown Harare, with internal divisions and military resistance brewing under surface. It looks like the road ahead is going to be bumpier than a Zimbabwean debt road after the rainy season. So, folks, as this political drama unfolds, it's bound to be more entertaining than any reality show out there. And remember, whether you are for or against extending presidential terms, one thing is clear in politics, just like in life. Nothing lasts forever, except perhaps for those who refuse to leave office. Now, we go over to VP Mphoko's son. What does he say on him being absent? His father's burial, his own father's burial, he would bank his own father's burial. Why would he do that? In the quiet aftermath of a life in the shadows of power, the story of former Vice President Mphoko unfolds like a tragic play. Mphoko, who passed away on December 6 in India at the age of 84, was a man whose legacy is now intertwined with the complexities of family and estrangement. As mourners gathered to bid farewell to this national hero in Bulawayo's Douglasdale suburb, a haunting silence echoed where familiar bones once thrived. his son Chiwenga Mphoko stood apart from the grieving crowd. His absence at the funeral speaking volumes about a relationship fractured beyond repair. Now, in an exclusive interview with Southern Eye, Chiwenga revealed the painful rift that had grown between him and his father over the last 2 years of Mphoko's life, a rift so deep that it seemed to defy reconciliation. Now, what could happen that could cause you to have a rift with your father, a rift between you and your own father? Growing up, when we grow up and become sovereign man, thinking man, we start putting conditions on relationships that are supposed to be unconditional. The man is your father. The man was your father. That doesn't change. Your father will always be your father. Now he would say this: I did not attend my father's funeral as I was fulfilling his wish. Ah, come on. Now that's very childish there. What? Chiwenga stated, his voice steady yet laced with sorrow. The words hung in the air like an unspoken curse. Mphoko had made it clear through messages that he no longer wanted Chiwenga in his life. If any member of our family dies, I should not set foot there, he recalled, a chilling reminder of the finality of their estrangement. This is coming from a guy who is spared 20 years in prison. Coming from a guy who would close all the money from the Choppies franchise. Now, the backdrop to this family drama was fraught with accusations and turmoil. Chiwenga had faced allegations that painted him a monster. Accusations he vehemently denied and ultimately overcame in court. Or did he? Maybe just the sentence. There was a lot that didn't add up, he explained, recounting on these accusations were just not an assault on his character, but an attack on his lineage. My kids are at critical ages right now. They need both parents, he lamented, revealing the weight of responsibility he felt as a father amidst the chaos. The news of Mphoko's death reached Chiwenga through a Zanu PF member. Imagine, leaving him reeling with confusion. I wasn't aware that he was in India or he was sick. Yes, that is what happens when you don't keep close relationships closer. He admitted, highlighting the disconnect that had become all too unfamiliar in their relationship. Critics on social media quickly pounced on his decision to post about business matters shortly after his father's passing. But Chiwenga remained resolute. Life continues. My focus remains on my children and my work. When asked if he missed his father, Chiwenga's response was raw and poignant. How do you come back from that? How do you recover from something like this? It feels like a divorce. The guy there divorces his father. Okay. It's not okay. The metaphor hung heavy in the air. It captured not only the loss of a father, but also the profound sense of grief that accompanies a familial estrangement. Despite acknowledging the unfortunate nature in their unresolved issues, Chiwenga felt no compulsion in seeking reconciliation posthumously. What was left to sort out? I stand by my decisions, he affirmed with a quiet strength. His resolve to honor his father's wishes by staying away from the funeral underscored the complexity about their relationships. Now, fellow Zimbabweans, I'm going to ask you this question. As a young child, if your parents hit you or scolds you, do you hate them? Do they stop being your parent? Like from when you are 0 years old growing up? Do they stop being your parents? Or maybe you quarrel with your brother or your sister. Do they stop being your brother or your sister? Or rather, they keep being your sister, your brother, your mother, or your father, but you'll be knowing, this one, my sibling, talks too much. This one, Anodena. This one. No matter how bad a character is, let's say it's a bad character, the person who pulls out on family is worse than Judas. That is the dictionary definition of betrayal. With that, I do sign out. Enough respect to Tatenda Muchineripi, Jean Caetano, Ray Bushu, Constantine Jakunjara, everybody who was watching us live right now. Thank you guys for watching TV7 Live. Remember to click that like button. Click the like button, kwitira kunyazisa Satan. Ndo pattern. Big up, Tatenda Muchineripi.